with the guys. You know, he started 32 games at a really good program. So excited about Graham and what he's done so far, and then what he's capable of doing in the future.
What does stand out to you about his, from a mechanical standpoint, footwork?
Yeah, no, I think he's first of all, he's got good stature. You know, he's close to 6'3", weighs about 220 pounds, and a guy that's got arm talent. You know, and I thought in particular, he's gotten a little bit better each day. I mean, I know you guys are out there a little bit, but I thought day 3 in particular, the ball's pretty jumped out of his hand. And then I thought he had a nice day today. So, you know, I mean, I think new group of skill players, you know, and really they work in the winter, but I think this is really spring training, and they have a chance to get some chemistry with the skill players. So it's good to see that he's making progress. Thought he took another step forward today.
In terms of overall roster size, where are you at? I know you talked about the walk-on Army, but can you give us a number? Is it where you'd like to be right now?
We're at I think we're training 105 players out there right now, which is good. There's 27 new scholarship players, and then we have about, I would say, 5 other walk-ons that are brand new. So we're making progress. We're not quite to that 135 number. Part of that is the academic exceptions. You know, it's going to take us a couple rotations, a couple cycles here. We've got to retain the ones that we do add to the team. And then we have to, you know, the ones that do get into school, those are awesome. And then obviously we have a few that we can use some exceptions there. So I'm very pleased. The administration's done a lot to help us. And I think that so far so good in that regard.
Coach Hockey's talking about Shamar James's spring games. How's that shown up on the field so far, and what are your expectations for his role in development this spring?
Yeah, you know, first of all, Shamar was not a mid-year player last year, right? So he really showed up there late May, early June. So he's made even more progress, I think, year 1 to year 2. So not only mentally, I think, out there as a football player, but there's no question physically, really bought into the nutrition, recovery, the strength conditioning. Our whole performance team, I think, has done a really good job so far. And he, you know, we set goals in the beginning relative to body composition, you know, DEXA 2 to DEXA 3. We'll find out where he's at the end of the semester, but I think he's done a nice job.
You guys really attacked the transfer portal to retool the offensive line. What have you seen from Mazuka, Keontae, and Damien?
Yeah, all 3 really good, you know, really good additions to the team. You know, Mazuka has played a little bit more football than the others, but you know, he's 6'4" 3/4", 320 pounds, and really can move. Plays well on the second level. Good demeanor about him. I think football IQ is there. Been pleased with how he's picked things up. A lot of carryover there systematically. Damian George is off to a really good start. You know, he's you know, he started 4 games, I think, in 21, and then he was a consistent backup basically from day 1. So 2.5 years of taking reps, you know, at the University of Alabama. So he's been very good. He's vocal. He's a good communicator. And then certainly Keontae, you know, just has all the ability in the world. You know, 6'7.5". He's lost probably 29, 30 pounds since he's gotten here. He's under 350, and he's moving well. So he's still a young player, you know, not much experience there, but, you know, really good tools and a guy that's got a bright future in front of him.
What are your takeaways so far on the defense and how they've kind of handled the coordinator change?
Yeah, no, it's been really positive. And I think you know, year 2, there's enough carryover systematically to where I think Austin's learning what they know, putting his spin on it, and then certainly taking his approach from a personality standpoint. But it's important to know here, I think, not only all the players in the second year, but all the coaches as well, right? So just in terms of our year-round plan, much more comfortable with how to allocate their time. And then we've added a lot of really new players on that side of the ball. So, yeah, been very pleased. That group is off to a good start.
What do you remember about Austin when, because he was GA at Louisiana when you got there, right?
Mm-hmm.
He made an impact on you pretty early?
Yeah, no, you know, we retained him, and then he spent the first year with us. He worked closely with Ron Roberts and the inside backers. Made a great impression on us. Obviously, Ron was the coordinator. He was a GA, so he, you know, had a little bit more responsibility than maybe a typical GA. Felt strongly about him. And, you know, obviously at that point, Kirby and I had known each other, and, you know, we communicated about getting him there and, you know, being in our system to some degree, if that makes sense, just from so that year was beneficial at Georgia for him. Our inside backer job came open, we brought him back immediately. So, and Patrick obviously was promoted to DC, felt strongly about Austin, we brought him back. So, you know, and then 1 year later, the guy's calling defenses. So, he's a good one.
You mentioned communication. What do you see out of Taraja Mitchell as far as being the communicator in the middle and kind of the traffic cop?
Yeah, no, I think Taraja's taking advantage of the opportunity there with Wingo being limited due to the surgeries, and then certainly Scooby's been a little bit limited as well, right? So Taraja is a former team captain at Ohio State. You know, the guy's been around college football in a successful program. Very bright, very articulate guy that, you know, communicates at a high level. So he's making the others around him better with that communication. He's a big player. He's 245 pounds, you know, and there's some physical presence there in the middle that I think he brings.
What are you
Few more
seeing
for the
what are you
coach.
seeing so far from the safeties?
Yeah.
Maury and Mitchell, yeah?
Yeah, no, both are back. Both, you know, those are two players that have experience. Perkins obviously is there. We've been playing Jaden Hill in that room a little bit too, at Star. But no, that's a position where we're a little thin. It's one of the positions on our team where the young players are being forced into the mix, right? Sharif Denson, Jordan Castell, Bryce Thornton, Jamarcus Weston is flashed over there. So that's a room that I think is one of the more, it's a thin room and it's very competitive, and young players are gonna have to be ready to play.
Two more questions, guys, Zach and then Nick.
I'm guessing you were able to see Anthony's combine. From your perspective, what changes about an offense when you lose a 99 percentile athletic quarterback, if much?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think, you know, it's interesting, right? We all know Anthony, I mean, heck, incredible athlete, right? But now I'm looking at my notes from last year. You remember this time last year, Anthony was coming off the surgery, you know, really participated in spring. We had to keep him in the pocket, you know, and he wasn't able to run around. So, but no, I mean, I think really unique in his ability to make plays with his feet. I couldn't be more proud of the guy. I mean, he made a decision to go out. He bet on himself to some degree, knowing that he was very capable, and he dominated the historic numbers at the quarterback position. So the thing I'm really proud of is the interview process, the football. You know, I think he's really made, I know in our year together, he made tremendous progress relative to his understanding of the overall picture. It's good to see all that paying off.
Nick?
You mentioned Scooby inside, but he was listed at edge. Just, is he cross training or do you have a spot?
Yeah,
for him?
he's playing in both rooms. He's playing Sam, you know, in some of the bigger personnel groupings. So, and I do think he's got situational, he's a sub rusher. You know, Scooby's 6'2.5". We threw him out there a little bit at the end of the year last year. I thought he's got a knack for rushing the passer. So, but I still think the guy can play inside backer, play Sam, sub rusher.
And then how do you,
He was back today, did more than he's been doing, and flashed a little bit out there today.
and how do you think Coach Decker's done as a graduate assistant, young
Yeah.
guy being able to lead a room?
Yeah, a lot on his plate. But Deck's been with us for a couple of years, and then certainly while we're in transition here, great experience for him. And I know the players respect him and appreciate how hard he's working. And so, you know, spring break here, we'll continue to do our homework, but couldn't be more proud of Decker. And Decker's got a bright future in front of him.
All right, thank you, coach.
26
or 27, David? I was.
Great question.
Yeah, I'll find out.